Yo, 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 No Maniacs. Good afternoon. This is Nomad Live, and welcome to the show. We have a real special treat for you guys today. I don't know how it happened, but I'm glad it happened. My man, Jerry Hairston Jr., world champion, and I'll repeat, world champion, former MLB baseball player, has agreed to join us, and he's found out that he's a really big Chicago Bears fan, and he's from where, Jerry?
I grew up in Naperville, just outside Chicago. People from Chicago know where Naperville is at. I grew up there, and I became a huge Bears fan. I was growing up following the 86 Bears, the 85 Bears. They won it in 86. I was about 8 years old at the time, and Walter Payton was my favorite football player, still is to this day. So I'm a huge, not big, huge Chicago Bears fan.
And I could tell, man. I was reading your posts, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this guy's. And it's. I was just telling them in the green room that it's really good to find people that are really good at something. You're a world champion, and that's not to be sneezed at in one sport, but you have passion for something else. And being a native of the area, that I don't care where you go, you carry that with you. You carry it with you. I don't know when you became a Bears fan, how young you were. But I know it's been in me since I was old enough to remember anything. I was about 2 or 3 years old. And, you just carry it. I've lived in different states, it's just with me wherever I go. So I understand the passion, but I'm so appreciative to have you on the show today, man. And again, thank you for coming. Appreciate that so much, man.
No, thanks for having me. And you talk about that passion. I understand the Bears fans because I am one. When they come out to play the Cardinals in Arizona, I make my home in Arizona. I go and see them play. I was there when the Bears came back on the Arizona Cardinals. We are who we thought they were.
We thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Jerry, you went mute. You went mute, Jerry. Jerry went mute. I don't know what just happened.
I don't know.
Oh man. Can he even see you right now?
No, he can see me. Oh, is he looking at me inside?
Jerry, you went mute. You went mute.
Yeah, you went mute on us, Jerry. Can you unmute?
Can you hear us, Jerry? I don't think he can hear us.
No.
Let's hit him in the chat. Let me say.
I got it.
Oh, okay. Please go.
Uh-oh.
What
Bear
happened?
Bear with us, everybody. Hopefully he's just jumping out to jump back in. Well, hopefully everything will get straightened out on his end technically. I don't know, Chris. Are you messaging him?
Yeah, he is.
I sent him in the private message. I don't have his Twitter, so you might want to send him something on Twitter.
Shawn, if you want to talk, let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So we were. So I'm looking at it today, and I'm hearing a whole bunch of, just different people, and I don't want to, beat a dead horse. And when we're all talking Caleb Justin, that's fine. It's.
Right. We got Jerry back. Let me see.
You got him?
Can you hear us, Jerry?
No.
Can you hear us?
He can't. He still can't.
I don't think he can hear us.
No, he can't.
Yeah, Shawn, he can't see us either since we're using avatars.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry. Jerry.
He can see us, but he can't hear us.
Yeah, no, he can hear me, or he can see me, but
yeah, his video is. I mean, his audio is sent. Did you message him?
I'm trying to now, man.
Just ask him would he reboot.
That's if I can get there.
Yeah, that's weird. How it literally just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be browser. His browser is gone. You might have to reboot his browser.
Boom. All right, and you got a hold of him on Twitter?
I'm trying to now.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to today, man. I was looking forward to the show today. I wanted to talk about. We talked a little bit about yesterday, but the Hall of Fame situation. All right, we had technically three. All right, but Julius Peppers was only here for 4 years, and he made his name with the Carolina Panthers, and I think it was great. It was great that uh, he got to play for us for a while because that dude was a freak. That dude was all of 6'7". That dude was athletic as all get out. All right, for those of you who don't know, he played back. He went to school, played football and basketball at North Carolina, and he's a big dude. You know, he had them big legs, and his athleticism was good. You know, played in the NCAA tournament. Kind of like I don't remember how much Donovan McNabb played in the NCAA tournament at Syracuse. All right, for the basketball team, but similar to Donovan McNabb, two-sport athlete. You know, I just think that was it was great. You know, Devin Hester. I still don't understand how they or why they made him wait for his third time on the ballot.
I think it's because he was a special teamer and it never had been done before.
True. I think you might be right, but the thing is,
Okay, hold on. We got Jerry might be back with us.
let's see.
How's it going, Jerry? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we got you now. Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
Might have been your browser. You just reboot your browser. So, all right, back on track.
All right, let's get back to this, Jerry, because we were discussing. You know, we had three guys in the Hall of Fame right now. Just got the nod. Devin Hester, Mongo, and Julius Peppers. Man, what do you think about that? Three guys going in, and we might get the nod to actually play in the Hall of Fame game. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm so glad that Mongo got in. Steve McMichael, so happy he did, and he had a chance to obviously witness it and see it. He was around a lot of family. I know his family is very proud. Incredible defensive lineman. And then you talk about Devin Hester, you know, game-changing punt returner, kickoff returner, and later became a wide receiver. I'm happy he got in because, you know, Hall of Fame is about the very best at what you did at your position. And it's no question that Devin Hester was the greatest kick returner, punt returner ever. So for him to be in the Hall of Fame is awesome. And then Julius Peppers, I used to work out with Julius Peppers in Arizona. He was an absolute monster. And I'm so glad that he got in. Incredible athlete too. He played college basketball as well. So happy for Julius as well.
Yeah. Julius was a freak of nature, man. He was all of 6'7", 6'8". I told a story yesterday or on my show or another show earlier that I met him in Bourbonnais when the Bears were still out there, and he walked in with Lance Briggs, and I turned around, I was like, damn. And
he's not small.
No, he's not a small boy at all, and he's bottom heavy too, so he has big thighs and he had a V shape. I was like, okay, well, all righty then. How you doing, man? He's like, what's going on? I said hi to him, and then it was just great. I'm glad that he played with us for a while. You know, he made his name with the Carolina Panthers, and he'll probably go in as a Panther, which is fine. Not like baseball where you wear a hat or anything, but still, I think it was awesome that he played for us for 4 years, and you know, I was super excited. And you mentioned Devin, what he did, especially his rookie year, and then continued to return. That was. You ever seen any athlete, and you've been up in the show? Excuse me, of course. Any athlete, not necessarily do that, but any athlete take their specific sport by storm, like Devin Hester took the NFL by storm his first couple seasons.
You know what? I've seen a lot of athletes. I'll talk about my sport. You know, I was on the team when Yasiel Puig broke into the major leagues. It was a phenomenon. You know, he was must-see TV. He was probably the hottest rookie I've ever seen. He instantly made an impact defensively, offensively, hitting big home runs. And you could make a case he was probably the best athlete at that time, along with Mike Trout in the sport of baseball. Now, Obviously, he didn't have the career that Devin Hester had, but I would say Devin Hester would be right there as far as that impact, instant impact. I mean, he was literally instant offense. Every time he went back to either fill a punt or on kickoff return, everybody was at the edge of the seat like, we might score a touchdown. Probably the only other guy I could think of was kind of like that was Deion Sanders.
Yep.
Right. Deion went out there. He do punt returns. And you had that feeling at the edge of your seat that this might be a touchdown, not like gain 30 or 50 yards. You were thinking he's going to take it to the house. And that's what I felt about Devin Hester. So I thought every time he was about to fill a punt or kickoff, I felt like we were on offense. That was our offense on the field with him fielding that punt or kickoff.
One of the things about it is that when he was going back for punt, you stopped what you did. You stop what you did. If you're going to the bathroom like that, hold on. Let me just watch this right here. You're going to the kitchen. Hold on. Let me just watch this right here. He was one of those things because you just did not want to miss a Devin Hester return, and he's one of those few athletes that you literally stop what you're doing, and it was awesome. I just so do you remember? See, because when he ran back that Super Bowl. We were nutso, and there are certain plays there's certain times and certain moments in your life where you know where you're at. Like when I was learning about Pearl Harbor, and my grandma, I wasn't born at that particular point, but I asked my grandmother, say, Granny, I said, Grandma, I said, what do you remember what you're doing at Pearl Harbor? And she remembered vividly. She goes, oh my God, Mijo. She explained what she was doing. She was ironing my grandfather's shirt and whatever. What were you doing? Where were you watching the game when Devin Hester ran that kickoff back, the opening kickoff back for the Super Bowl?
I was in my house in Scottsdale, Arizona, having a family Super Bowl party. Mm-hmm. Obviously, all of us were rooting for the Bears, and when he ran that opening kickoff,
how nuts did it get over there, bro?
We didn't hear the commentators because we knew once he broke away, nobody's going to catch it. So we knew it was a touchdown. So we were going nuts, screaming, hollering. It just was insane. For him to run it back was definitely an incredible moment for, the Bears fans, my family. Obviously, it's unfortunate the Bears didn't close out and win that ball game. But I remember when Devin Hester ran back that punt to put us ahead. I don't know if you guys heard me earlier. I was talking about the Bears are who we thought they were. Well, I was at that game in Arizona.
Oh, you were?
The Cardinals. I was at that game because I lived in Arizona. And I remember, I had the throwback Walter Payton jersey on, and fans behind me were huge Cardinal fans, and they were giving it to me. Because Bears are getting beat down pretty good
at halftime. Halftime.
If I remember correctly, I think we were scoreless, right? I don't think we scored a point.
I think you might. I don't know if it's either that or a 3, but it was
probably it was probably say 24-3. Let's say it was something like that, or 24-0. Whatever it was, we were down by a ton. Okay, and I remember saying, man, if we can find a way to just get something on the board, a touchdown, we can come back in this game, because the Bears defense, as we know, was elite. And then we had Devin Hester. So the Bears I think they scored 2 defensive touchdowns. I think Brown scored on a fumble recovery.
I want to say it was Mark Anderson with the sack and Brown with the scoop and score. Yep.
Yeah, Brown had a scoop and score. And I think Brian Urlacher. Yeah, Brian Urlacher ripped Edwin James, I believe.
It was, yes, sir.
And then we scored a touchdown. And I just remember I'm sitting there going, just please kick it to Devin Hester. Because I was, as Bears fans, you guys remember, we were like, well, I hope he doesn't kick it out of bounds.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't kick it out of bounds. I go, just please kick it to Devin Hester. As soon as he fielded the punt, right, and he made a little juke move and he cut, we saw the whole sea open up. And at the stadium was the loudest because there was probably 80% Bears fans there in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And it was just so loud. And I remember when Devin probably was at the 20, I turned around the guys that were just heckling me all game. I go, it hurts. And then it said and then they missed the field goal, and obviously we were able to win the game. But it was an epic game, and Devin Hester definitely made memories for all of us Bears fans.
So hey, Jerry, man, by the way, I was down in Bourbonnais for that camp too when he was a rookie. Man, I'm going to tell you, that electricity that he brought to the stadium during the game, man, it was there in practice, man. I mean, that place, every time he touched the ball, man, you can hear it, you can feel it. I mean, you can almost taste the electricity. And at the time, he was just, to me, he was the piece that they needed to really get them, propel them over the top. And I just, while we're talking about, and I think they should have won that championship. They did not. I think the weather, the rain slowed down
The
a
rain
fast
hurt,
defense.
Yeah.
But still, Jerry, you come from a unique perspective, man. You're a world champion, and what it takes to be a world champion is what, to me, is what makes you absolutely unique. There's not very many world champions on earth. I mean, there are some, there are a plethora of them, but everybody won't feel that in their lifetime. You know what that feels like. And taking that mindset to what Ryan Poles is doing right now, and the mindset is, what do we need to do here? Do we build? Do we see enough momentum during this season with the team that we had and the leader that we have at quarterback to make us feel like we can stand pat and take the bounty in front of us, given the talent of Caleb Williams? I kind of know where you're going, but let the fans know what you think about that particular scenario.
Well, listen, I know the Bears fans are extremely passionate, and rightfully so. They've been frustrated. I've been frustrated as a Bears fan. I said earlier, I've been a Bears fan since 1983, and we've seen one championship in my lifetime. So I know the Bears fans are growing impatient on not many title runs. I will say this: I trust Ryan Poles. I think he's doing it the right way. And just talking to various people that I live in Arizona, I live in LA. I know a lot of guys that have played in the NFL. I know a lot of guys that have played in the NBA, obviously a lot of Major League Baseball players. And, going back and playing for the Yankees, I got a chance to really see how championship teams are and their culture. And Derek Jeter wasn't the most talented player. He wasn't. Obviously, Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds were insanely gifted, But remember, the Yankees, especially in those runs, they built from the ground up. They drafted and signed Mariano Rivera, Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, Derek Jeter. They had the foundation, Bernie Williams. They made sure they had that foundation. And just listening to a lot of NFL players, in order for them to have sustained success, you have to have the proper foundation. A lot of fans are saying you can't pass on a generational quarterback 2 years in a row. Well, the reason why we got the number one pick this year is because the Bears passed on a generational quarterback last year, and the Panthers took a generational quarterback. Go back and look at the reports. Everybody was comparing Bryce Young to Patrick Mahomes. That's the truth. I'm a Bama fan. My dad's from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm a Roll Tide guy till I die. I love Bryce. He's an incredible talent. But it takes time for guys to develop in the NFL. Being a quarterback, I feel, is the toughest position in sports, being an NFL quarterback. I think hitting a baseball in the major leagues is probably the single toughest act to do in all of sports.
I agree.
But as far as a position, there are so many things that go in to being a quarterback. I have friends that play in the NFL. They're quarterbacks in the NFL. They tell me fans don't understand that you got to have the right system in place. You got to have the right scheme. You got to have the right offensive line. How many times did we see Justin Fields go through so many different offensive coordinators? They didn't adjust to his playing style as a young quarterback. And then our offensive line, as we all know, struggled. So listen, I'm going to be a fan of whoever is on the Bears because I'm a Bears fan. But I think we're being unfair to Caleb Williams. I'm in LA. Everybody's saying Caleb Williams is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes wasn't Patrick Mahomes coming into the draft. Patrick Mahomes had to sit out a year. You know what I'm saying? He had to sit out a year and learn from the sidelines and revamp his throwing style and get his footwork down and learn from Alex Smith and learn from Andy Reid. They didn't put him out there on the football field the very first, 10, 12 games. They had to sit him down and have him observe. Justin Fields really didn't have that luxury of learning in the Andy Reid system and learning the proper way. So
See my shirt, baby. You see it.
I think I just said we need to take a pause here and realize, let Ryan Poles do what he needs to do. These guys are going to get it right. They're not listening to the media outlets. And you remember, everybody wants the shiny new Ferrari every single year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember in LA, everybody was talking, you know, Sam Darnold, he's going to be the next Tom Brady. He's generational. Sam Darnold, he's a can't miss prospect. You'd be crazy to pass on Sam Darnold. Yeah, I'm not hating on Sam Darnold, but you know, it's every year there's 2 or 3 guys that are generational. Trevor Lawrence was a can't miss prospect. You can't get that wrong. He's going to be the next great quarterback that the game has ever seen. How's that working out right now? So I think that the Bears need to make sure they have the proper foundation, and then make your decision. I just have this gut feeling, man. And again, I love Caleb Williams. I want what's best for him. You know, people forget. Think of what Caleb's dad's doing right now. If I'm a dad, I have a son, you know, he's 18 years old. A lot of media people in Chicago, you know, I shouldn't say a lot. Some people in Chicago are just turning on Justin, right? You don't think Caleb's dad is looking at that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't think Caleb's dad and their camp is looking and go, wait, Justin Fields is a young superstar. This guy's getting better and better every year. His team was gutted. They gutted that team so they can get picks, get assets, which was the right thing to do. They changed the offense, had a couple different coordinators, a couple different head coaches, and this kid continued to get better and better. Now, did he make that historic leap? No, he hasn't yet, but the talent is there. The talent is there. And I would listen to a guy like DJ Moore too. DJ Moore's played for a lot of quarterbacks. He's been in the league a lot of time. If a guy like DJ Moore is going to bat for his quarterback, there's something to that. Now, he doesn't have to say that. If Justin wasn't the guy, he'd be like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to do what they do. I love Justin as a kid, but I'll go with whatever they decide. He's gone to bat for Justin over and over and over again. Everybody that's been in that clubhouse, that locker room, has gone to bat for Justin. Trust me, guys. If they even just liked the guy, but they felt he wasn't it, they would stay silent. They wouldn't say anything.
I trust
guys
you.
that have gone. I played with guys that, man, this guy has so much talent, but you know what? He ain't it. So we don't say nothing.
Right.
But if a guy, as you know, this guy's a leader. This guy, when I played for the Yankees, I knew why Derek Jeter was a winner. Just being around Derek every single day, watching the way he goes about his business, watching how he leads, bro, that's the dude. I want Derek Jeter at the plate. I don't care who. I don't care what kind of talent somebody has. I want Derek Jeter at the plate when the game's on the line because you see him every single day. Trust me, guys. Guys know leaders, and guys know guys that are going to make that next leap. So there's something to that.
Talk to me about that, and you led me right down that path. And you know, like you said, Derek Jeter wasn't the most talented guy in the show, but he was a leader. You've talked about how people have gone to bat for Justin, and you don't. And we've all played sports, and like you said, we don't go to bat for somebody we don't think can lead us. Talk to me about Justin's leadership in that locker room. Okay, and how that can transcend to the field and the actual the performance of the team coming up this year.
I watch actions, guys. I watch the way Justin never gives up. Everybody goes back on in Minnesota. Let's say, you know, when in Minnesota, Justin could have given up. He fumbled the ball twice. He didn't take care of the ball. He admitted, I shouldn't have fumbled.
Mm-hmm.
Bad on him. He comes back and leads the team on the road to get a chance for a field goal. We win the game. How many times has Justin said hike, right? And the defense is in his face. He's scrambling, running, tough to take down, does not give up, scrambles for a first down. I'll never forget against the Falcons, I believe. Bro, this guy was sacked twice.
escaped and eluded the defensive line, ran for a first down, and he goes to the sidelines. Look at the reaction of his teammates. Forget the play. The play was superhuman.
Bingo.
Look at the reaction of his teammates. I'm telling you guys, that's not fake. Teammates know. Your team knows that's the alpha. He's the alpha. We're going to follow him. That's rare in sports, man. I'm telling you,
Jerry,
that's rare in sports.
Jerry, you know that. Now all of us, everybody that's in this panel right now, on this panel right now, has played ball at a certain level. You're a professional. None of us became one. But even at the college ranks, the high school ranks, there's a certain thing that happens, especially in a locker room. And there's a natural, it's like a pack of puppies, you know, and everybody naturally finds their place. And then there's that 1, 2, 3 guys that really stand out, and you started talking about it. You know, there's certain guys that have a certain something to them that you can't really put your finger on, but it's there, and you can't really name it. It's just something. And that's something with this kid I've always seen in him. You know, given the circumstances of a teardown, a first-year lame duck quarterback, and probably being thrust out on the field when he wasn't ready to be out there 100%, and having to survive a teardown and then get another coordinator to into your second year with that same coordinator, rather. And he not designed the kind of play style that's suited for what you do. And to get blamed for that, you are absolutely right about Caleb's camp. I believe that the first time that thing got leaked out that Caleb didn't want to come to Chicago, I'm pretty sure that his camp felt like that, because those young guys look at social media first. That's the first thing I'm sure your son does every day. That's the way. That's the lenses they see the world first. And so
listen, and Caleb, I think he is extremely talented. I think and I hope he has an incredible career in the NFL. I met Caleb. He came to Dodger Stadium. He was a big baseball fan. We had a bobblehead for Caleb here at Dodger Stadium. He's just a great kid, and I wish nothing but the best for him. And that's what's so unique about this situation from my eyes. I look at guys that come into the league. I want to see them have success, especially with a guy that I just met in Caleb Williams. I hear he's a great kid. I want to see him have success without question. And the hype that they're putting on this kid, he's the next Patrick Mahomes. That's like saying he's the next Michael Jordan. Let's be real. Patrick Mahomes wins another Super Bowl in a couple days. They're going to start talking about Patrick Mahomes being Tom Brady and Michael Jordan. So we're telling kids that a kid that's coming in, he's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. You know how crazy that is? That's unfair to Caleb Williams. Now, could he become that? I don't know. I hope he does, for his sake. But what if he doesn't? That's unfair to him, So again, I just think, and I have no idea. I don't know their camp like that. I have no idea. But as a father, if I had a son that has a chance to be the number 1 pick, and I see how a city is treating their incumbent quarterback a certain way, I'm like, will they do that to my son in 2 years? Because it takes quarterbacks 2, 3, 4, 5 years to develop. Go back and look at Peyton Manning, his first couple of years. Go back and look at Troy Aikman, his first couple of years in the NFL. Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? So it takes quarterbacks a few years to find their footing. And Justin Fields has survived an incredible, you talk about the teardown, the different offenses. Offensive wasn't even designed for him. It was a joke the way they treated Justin. And I think Ryan Poles and that staff understand that. And I will say one other thing too. I have friends that have played in the NFL that were quarterbacks. This is what they said. If Caleb Williams was their pick, and I still think Caleb Williams is going to be the number 1 pick. Caleb Williams is going to be the number 1 pick of the draft. But if a team was going to, for sure, draft Caleb Williams, they would hire Cliff to be their offensive coordinator. Do you know why? You know why? Because they said it's a lot easier, a transition for a rookie quarterback, especially 1 or 2 years in the league. You want to make it as easy as possible for them. How do you make that transition easy for him? Put him basically in the same offense or have the same similar coach or the same coach, Cliff, that he had. Why wouldn't you do that?
This makes
Right?
too much sense. It makes
Doesn't
too
that
much
make sense? And I
We
said, that
talked-
makes sense.
We
And-
talked about it the other day, and go ahead, man.
In fact, when I said that on Twitter and I saw that you liked it, and I've been, if anybody follows me on Twitter, I'm constantly trying to make common sense again. You know what I mean? When you see certain things written on the wall, man, it's just you can overthink something, and then you could really pay attention to the detail. And there's a reason why Magic Johnson becomes the owner of, you know what happened in LA when he became the owner. Big swings start to happen, and he became part of the ownership in DC. This story writes itself, man. Caleb is a DC kid. They've got this guy from his college years, the guy that he's comfortable with, and brought him in, and they're sitting at number 2. It's pretty clear what their intention is. Whether someone wants to agree with that or abide by what I'm saying or you're saying about that is another thing. But if you just pay attention to the details, it's pretty clear what they have set up and what they have planned to do. And to me, it's the right thing to do. When you got a team that you just tore it down, you won't ever get this many opportunities to build that team back the way it needs to, and you're not quarterback thirsty. And so what would you naturally be thinking? You know what? This quarterback, he's a great arm talent. But I like the guy we have, and I think that if we add to what we have going on and give him a thrust on the offensive line and get him some more weapons around him, what kind of ceiling do we have with the guy we have? We know what kind of moxie he has. And that goes to, Jerry, you have to be more than an arm talent to be great in this league. For Caleb to be great in this league, he's got the arm talent to do it. The rest of them, the layers of the rest of them, all that stuff about Derek Jeter and what kind of guy he is, you've got to become that kind of guy. You've got to have those layers to you.
And we know Justin is that guy right now. We know Justin Fields has that Derek Jeter type quality as far as leadership, because defensive guys on that Bears team go to bats for Justin Fields. Think about that for a second. Defensive guys. As you guys know, anybody who played football, I played a little football back in the day when I was little, but anybody knows you have the defense and the offense. It's separate, right?
Completely. Yeah.
But for them to be unified like that, everybody going to bat for Justin Fields, that's saying something. So again, I want the best for Caleb Williams. I want the best for Justin Fields. I think Caleb Williams will go number 1, and rightfully so. And, you know, for DC, the Commanders to hire Cliff, I mean, there's
after he was already in. Remember, he withdrew his name from Vegas. He was already in the talks with Vegas, and then he withdrew and went over. I mean, they did the formality of interviewing him, but they really just wanted to hire him for all intents and purposes. Man, it just, the tea leaves. You just got to read the tea leaves. And I say this. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. Follow the money. Follow the money. You put this kid in DC. He went to Gonzaga. One of my good friends that I went to college with was his high school coach. Mm-hmm. And we had talked a little bit. He should be coming on my show soon, but I digress. Put this kid in DC. They're trying to get that Daniel Snyder stench off that organization. All right. Who wants to go see Washington right now? No one. Who's going to go see Washington if the local kid who's the next generational quarterback's on team? Oh, a whole bunch of people. I said, look what it did for the Blackhawks when Connor Bedard got it. Look what it did to the Chicago Bulls when Derrick Rose was the Bulls got the number 1 pick to get Derrick Rose. You're going to see the ticket sales are going to go through the roof. Jersey sales are going to go through the roof. I'm like, and this is about money. This is about chess. This is not checkers. Him in DC makes the most sense financially for the league, for Washington, but also the league.
And I'm begging some of the Chicago media. Not all. Listen, I love Chicago. I know we're passionate. The media's passionate. Fan base are passionate. But I'm urging the fans of Chicago that are in Chicago, the media in Chicago, trust me when I say this. If you dog Justin Fields, every time you dog Justin Fields, guess who's looking at that? If you want Caleb Williams, guess who's looking at that?
Of course.
I'm telling you, athletes look at situations, especially when they become free agents. Right before they become free agents, they start to look at, okay, I'm not going to go play here because they treated this guy. They treated this guy this way. How are they going to treat me? I'm telling you, athletes talk. They talk and they observe.
You made a great point, because remember, when not a lot of free agents wanted to come here after Michael left, Remember the way they treated Michael Jordan, because Jerry Reinsdorf made the comment, like, I hope I don't regret this, when he signed to a $30 million contract. And he was like, basically like, wait a minute, you got this new stadium because of me. What do you mean you hope you don't regret this? So yeah, that's a phenomenal point, because, you know, they really know it. Not until Derrick Rose came here did we really get any free agents. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted to come here because they saw, if they figure if they do this to the greatest player ever, what are they going to do to me?
Right.
I mean, listen, I just want to make sure. I hope Caleb Williams has an incredible career. I think he's a good kid, and I want what's best for him. And if I'm going to take, not being a Bears fan, let's say I'm just an observer. I'm an athlete. I'm just observing. I'm just strictly athlete, looking at it as an athlete. Does he have a longer leash if he becomes a Commanders quarterback, or does he have a longer leash if he becomes a Bears quarterback? I think if he becomes a Bears quarterback, he's got to win instantly. He has to win instantly. Or if he becomes a Commanders quarterback, he goes and they're going to give him a long leash, let him develop. We don't have to win, because the Bears are starting to get to a win now. Next year is the year they need to win.
Yep.
Right.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Next year is the year they need to win. So if I'm Caleb's camp, do I say, okay, do I go to a win now situation where there's going to be so much pressure for him? Or do I go somewhere? Do I go back home like DC, where I'm going to be loved no matter what? If I fall on my face for a couple of years, like Troy Aikman did, like Peyton Manning did, I'm still going to be loved. You know what I'm saying? And I get a couple of years to develop. And by year 4, 5, and 6, I'm really starting to hit the ground running. Is that a better situation? Again, I'm trying to talk like how they are in their camp, you know, because they're going to have some decisions to make. But listen, I'm a Bears fan. I'm going to root for whoever is behind center. I just feel like, bro, Justin Fields is on the verge of taking that next step, especially with the offensive coordinator that they just hired. Look who they hired.
Yes.
The offensive coordinator.
Right.
What did he do to Geno? You don't think he's going, man, if I did it for Geno, I'm going to do to Justin Fields, who is uberly talented, has a way strong arm. We know Justin Fields throws an incredible deep ball. It's just the offensive line didn't give him a lot of chance to protect him to see it.
Right.
I just think Justin's on the very cusp of taking that huge leap, man. I really believe that.
Jerry, if you don't mind, this is Jerry Harrison Jr., world champion Jerry Harrison Jr. Jerry, if you don't mind hanging on while we take a quick station identification, I just got one more question to ask you on the other side of it, if you don't mind.
Cool.
I got one for you too, Jerry.
Cool.
The best Chicago Bears content anywhere. Catch Nomad Live pregame 1 hour prior to kickoff, and Nomad at Night postgame, and every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central on all the most popular streaming platforms, and only on the Nomad Network.
Appreciate that. Our producer Chris, just one last question now. I believe I know where your mind is, and this is just a draft related question. Okay, say you do go ahead and trade down to 2 and you know, give them an opportunity to come up and get Caleb. Okay, what do you do at 2? Do you stay in fear that you might not get the receiver that you may have intention on getting, or do you feel like we're needy enough as a team to where one person, even at 2, can't really dictate? Do we try to do that again? Do we try to trade down again? And how far would you go?
Listen, I've been on record as saying how much I love Caleb Williams. He's a great kid. I wish him nothing but the best. He will go number 1, and he should go number 1 in the draft without question. That said, I think what the Bears are going to do, they're going to trade 1 with the Commanders. They'll get the 2nd pick of the draft. And you know who's at 3, right? The Patriots,
Pats,
who want a new identity, right? They just have a brand new head coach. What do they desperately need? A quarterback.
QB?
They have to have a quarterback. Right? I would trade again with the Patriots and stack pile picks, get as much capital as you possibly can. And with the 3rd pick, I'm taking that Buckeye That MSJ. You guys know I'm a firm believer of juniors. Ken Griffey Jr., right? Sammy Davis Jr., Gary Hairston Jr., and I'm going with Marvin Harrison Jr. with the third pick. That's what I would do. It's the best for everyone. The Bears will stockpile picks. I want to be like the Cowboys of the 90s. I want to have the dominant offensive line.
I love it.
I want to have the dominant offensive line. I want to have a dominant defensive line. We got our young boys, who do an incredible job as safeties and DBs, right? Johnson is a freaking beast. We need to sign him too, by the way.
Yeah.
So I want offensive line, defensive line after we pick up Marvin Harrison Jr. I want to be the Cowboys of the 90s. That's what I want. In order to do that, you need a lot of draft capital and you need a lot of picks. And I think the Bears are in the perfect spot to do this. You build from the ground up. You're starting to build that foundation, continue to build that foundation. You do that. Can you imagine Justin Fields, Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, and Komet? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding?
If you take DJ Moore and have them fly with Marvin Harrison Jr., that means that all the safeties got to play deep. Komet hit him over the middle. Or, you know what? Justin get inside. I'm going to kick off for a 30-yard run. And then the safeties have to play up the cover. And now you can hit Marvin Harrison Jr. deep. How many deep balls did we drop last year?
Ooh,
How many?
Are too many.
You don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is catching up those deep balls?
I would assume he would, because that dude is Nomad and I are in agreement. Like, we feel that he might be the only generational player in this draft. And I'm saying that other people can't be good. Other people can't be great coming out of this draft.
He's a can't miss prospect.
He's one of those dudes, and just, he's got the pedigree, but then just watching him, and it's not about the numbers. Would you stick with, after you get, if you trade down the double trade back, which I love, and I've said that too. I love it. Would you stick with another offensive weapon at 9, or would you get an offensive or defensive lineman? Like, what are you thinking about? Say you go get Brock Bowers. So now you got Cole Kmet, Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore.
So here's the beauty of it. Once you trade and get those picks, right? If you trade down to 2, then you trade down to 3, you get so many different picks. Then you can start going with best players available. Now, is Brock Bowers the best player available at 9? If he is available at 9, he's the best player, pick him up. But the most important thing is, after you get Marvin Harrison Jr., if Bowers there, I would pop, because I got some friends here that say, hey, Bowers, not only a great pass catching guy, they say, look at him blocking.
Oh, yeah.
He may be a better blocker than he's a pass catcher. That's what some guy, I don't know. I'm getting it from my friends. So if you get a Bowers, awesome. But you got to shore up that offensive line, and you got to shore up that defensive line. You do that, and then get picks. Shoot, we do that, we may have the number 1 pick of the draft next year if we do it the right way.
Well,
right?
We could end up having 2 first-round picks in 24, 2 first-round picks in 25, and 2 first-round picks in 26. And if Ryan Poles is true to his word, and he's been true to his word to this point, when he said he wants to build through the draft, how much more, or how is there a better way in building through the draft than having 2 first-round picks for 3 or 4 consecutive years in a row? There's no better way.
Oh my God.
And Jerry,
so I hope they do this. And the last thing I'll say, I know we probably got to get out of here. Last thing I'll say, I'm urging all Bears fans, and I'm urging all Chicago media people, show love to Justin Fields. I'm telling you, you better show love to Justin Fields, because there's some people in other camps that are watching how you treat Justin Fields. I'm telling you, I'm giving you my honest assessment, okay? And I just want what's best for the Bears. Hopefully the Bears get it right. I think they will. And I want to see championships, plural championships, for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, thank you so much, Jerry. You know what? Jerry was so gracious, man. He agreed to only 20, 30 minutes, and he went way over for us, man. And I so appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
I just know this. I think pretty soon, Jerry, I think in March, I think come free agent, first couple of days of the free agent period, man, I just want to ask you to come back, because then we'll have a better idea of what the target plan may be. Come draft time, we'll actually have an idea of what we'll have. We still won't know exactly what they're going to do in the draft as far as the number 1 pick, but we'll have an idea on who they might be targeting for what reason, because they'll show some signals by the pieces that they get in free agency. So if you don't mind, I love your mind and the way you think about this, and the fact that you're a Chicago native, man. You're welcome to this show anytime you want to come on. And so I appreciate
it. I'll be here. We'll be in the middle of spring training, but that's okay. I'll be here.
Please,
Jerry, I had one question before you leave, man. Again, I want to thank you for coming and spending some time with us. For those of you who don't know, Jerry Hairston Sr. Was a longtime Chicago White Sox player.
Yeah. Sorry.
Exactly.
I got a little fired up there.
So, Jerry, I wanted to ask you: does your dad? You mentioned how he's still got plenty of spark in him. Does he mention to you that his lifetime batting average is 258 and yours is 257?
I'm so glad you brought that up. I don't mind that his batting average was a tick below. If you guys go back, it's always on YouTube. It's on Twitter, TikTok now. There's a base hit that was robbed from me. Todd Helton stepped off the bag. He was 15 feet off the bag. And I was past the bag, and I touched it. They called me out. If I get that hit, me and my dad will be tied in batting average.
Same average.
I was robbed. If you go back, they calculated. We would have the exact same batting average. So I pulled that out on the golf course and said, "Daddy, this is what happened to me." And he goes, "Stop crying. I didn't teach you to be a crier. Be a man." And then I drop it.
Well, man, I just wondered that when you told me that you and him have a great father-son relationship and a little competitive. I saw that, because I'm a numbers guy, and I thought I might have to ask him about that. So that's great. That's a great story.
Listen, my dad was a better hitter than I was. He just was. I got more opportunities because I could play a variety of positions. I was a better athlete, but my dad was definitely a better hitter than I was. No question.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you give him and your sons and your family our best. And again, like I said, thanks for joining us.
Anytime, guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, Jerry, man. See, hey, keep in contact, man. I will keep in contact with you.
Go Bears.
Yes,
Bear
sir.
down, baby. You're damn right.
That's Jerry Harrison Jr., world champion Jerry Harrison Jr., man. I so appreciate him coming on. It was short notice. And he right away, he agreed to come on the show. So you could tell he's passionate about our team, man. And even being way in California and Arizona, I keep telling people, I don't care where I moved, it came with me. So it's been with me since I was a toddler. It's part of my DNA. Football is part of my DNA. I love that before I love the girl. And so what that tell you about it? So I just appreciate that guy so much, man. And hey, man, Shawn, the way he sees it and the way we see it is very practical. The whole thing about the locker room and the teammates sticking up for people.
But what does he know? What do we know? We haven't been.
I say this stuff every day on Twitter, man. I'm trying to tell people that, that stuff means something. You can't sit in your plush office in Hallis Hall and just ignore that because you got virtues of doing something else. What risk are you putting in front of this team by breaking that up and putting another guy? You know what signal that sends? That means they're not ready to win right now. And we're trying to do things to ramp up and get ourselves ready. What we showed and put on the field, we feel like we're ready to win now. And bringing a rookie quarterback and you think that's helping them down that line, that's going to disjoint that locker room. And he knows it.
I said it before. I said I think Poles already knows what he's going to do. I think he's set on keeping Justin. And we got some more trolls here, Mr. Scrolls, and I love it. But the thing is that I personally think he's just waiting for a deal. All right, he's waiting to collect all the deals. I told you how I think, dude. He's gonna walk into the scouting combine, down in Indianapolis like Vince McMahon, bro. He's just gonna walk in and be like, "Give me your proposal. Give me yours. Give me yours. What do you got?" I mean, he literally has that opportunity. Now, I mean, of course, this little hyperbole, for example, for a couple laughs, but he's in the driver's seat, and I think he understands. And the one thing that I said to Jerry, he has not strayed from his word. He is not, as much to our dismay as fans may have not. He has been true to his word. He's building through the draft. All right. Remember, a lot of people were pissed. Like, why are you drafting these 2 DBs in the second round? What the hell's going on? DBs? And now look at them. All right. Those boys, talking Kyler Gordon, talking Jaquan Brisker, all those dudes are studs. Okay. We have to trust him. You know, people, a lot of people, some people like the Darnell Wright pick, and a lot of people didn't. All right. What happened? Darnell Wright, first team all rookie. Okay. This kid, you know, Tyreek Stevenson, second team all rookie. You know, so you start getting this, then don't forget the DJ Moore. Look at what he's done. And yeah, and if you want to bring up the Chase Claypool thing, please do. Because you know what? Because if you look, again, life is about perspective. If you look at it and say it's a swing and miss, I'll say, guess what? He wasn't scared to take another swing the following year, and that netted some guy named Montez something or other who was pretty good or something. You see what I mean? Like, This guy has cojones, bro. He's building through the draft. When there's a chance and you get in there and take a sniper shot at a free agent, he did. First one he missed, second one, he hit on big time.
Let me tell you something, Shawn, and people can think of what the point I'm making any way they choose, man. He will never in his lifetime as a GM of any organization, see another opportunity like this one. After you've torn down a roster and came in with your mind set on rebuilding it in the way that you think it ought to be built, you won't ever get this opportunity again to do exactly what you told these people you're going to do, build it through the draft. You can't, you would never look at this as a QB thirsty GM and say, this is, with all the needs that we have, we need to get this guy, because that's just, it doesn't make good sense. But people don't want to really pay attention to it because we live in a world where people want to believe what they want to believe because it makes them feel better, you know. And, you know, I'm going to quit arguing with people. I'm just going to say what I got to say and let it sit where it is. And people can fuss and argue about me, not like me, you know, all that kind of crap. I don't care, man. But that's just the way I see it. I have a practical mind when it comes to that right there. And it's just simple to see to me. It's like, you know, we'll never, ever have this opportunity again. Why not take advantage of it?
Wait, you're not talking Ryan Poles. I don't know if any other GM in the NFL was going to have this opportunity. Like, you know how many things had to go right for us to – last year we had to have Lovey in that last game, okay? And then a lot of things had to go right. Carolina had to be that bad this year for us to get the number one pick again. It would be extremely difficult. Remember, don't forget, we traded down one pick last year to get so the Eagles can get Carter. We got a fourth round pick for that. This will be, once that trade is done, this will be a bigger trade. Last year's number one pick, this will be a bigger trade than a Herschel Walker deal. Hands down. Because we're going to end up getting 2 first-round picks, as I said, in 24, 25, 26. 2 first-round picks for 3 years in a row?
Talk about sustained success and building the opportunity to be a champion multiple times over with the kind of capital that he can get.
Well, and you know what? The other thing I want to address is the people that keep talking, and one of the gentlemen in the chat said it, is that, you know, either Poles needs to reset the quarterback clock or drafting Caleb is going to get him more time. Well, you know what else will get him more time? Winning.
Exactly.
And if they win next year, if they win the next 2 years, they win for the next 5 years, guess who your general manager is going to be? It's going to be Ryan Poles. And so I think that's a flawed way of thinking, to think, okay, let me extend my contract by drafting this guy, and I hope he's good. That's a flawed way of thinking. It's not one that ensures employment in the future, I don't think.
Well, stick around, Chris, because we're going to get ready to wrap up the show here in a second. But it's just, I mean, the opportunity is just too great, Shawn. I mean, I just, you know, I tell you what, if Cliff Kingsbury were here and the OC, I'd be singing a different tune, man. I ain't lying to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's just the way it would have to be, you know, whether I liked it or not. It's just, that would be the writing on the wall. That would be the tea leaves you were talking about earlier. All that stuff makes a difference. But the fact that he's not here and he's with a team that's right under us at the number 2 spot, if you choose to ignore that, man, that's really just foolishness, man. Like, what are you thinking about, man? You just choose to believe what you want to believe, and you're preparing yourself to be disappointed.
And that's just being stubborn. That's just being you're being a petulant child, because when you look at the best way to get quarterbacks acclimated is to get them acclimated with someone get someone who they coached before, they played under, someone who runs the same system that they ran in college, something or other, because everybody wants these quarterbacks because they're kind of under the gun because of the fifth year option got to be done after 3 years, and so they want to get these quarterbacks out. They got to get these quarterbacks productive early, and what better way than to get a guy that you've played under, as I said, or ran the same system that you did, maybe just at another school. And believe me, this was no coincidence. And someone in the chat earlier said, well, it was about money and this and this. And it's like, okay, you can sit there and say that you believe it's about money if that's what you want to believe, but you know damn well, because if Cliff Kingsbury was hired here, those people who are saying, oh, he left about money, they'd have a completely different tune. Completely. There'd be a lot of shit talking with us toward us who like Justin and believe Justin is the guy for this job. They'd be coming at us relentlessly. Well, he's a coach at USC. What does that mean? You can't read the tea leaves. Just what they call it, Justin sexuals and this and but now that he's not here, it just doesn't. It's about money. Okay, so you want it one way when it fits your narrative, but when it doesn't fit your narrative, then it's like, oh no, it's a coincidence. Okay.
I actually love people like that. I'm not a shyster or anything like that, but I always keep a pile of rocks in my backyard in case I run into somebody foolish enough to want to buy them. You know what I mean? Just I can tell you it's gold. But if you want to really believe that, I most certainly will sell you those rocks. You know what I mean? But that's just where it is right now. We're gonna have a bunch more conversation. I do appreciate Jerry Hairston Jr. coming on short notice. I said one thing to him, and boom, immediately he came back. He was like, sure, man, I'd love to get on there and do this with you guys. So I'm going to maintain contact with him, and I hope that he comes back and does a show with us again later, man. But I do appreciate him. But before we get out of here, Chris, you want to give some parting words?
Well, first, again, like you said, I want to thank Jerry Hairston Jr., man. Very knowledgeable man. He's especially what we're talking about here. I was a little surprised we wouldn't be talking more baseball, but he's a big Bears fan, and I do thank him for coming on. Thank you guys in the chat for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. We had over 50 in the chat, and we've only got 31 likes. So go ahead and smash that like button. Don't cost you nothing. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're in the home stretch to 1,000, and so we do appreciate and ask for your help with that. Shawn, again, man, I appreciate you being here with us. It's always the library when you come, so I appreciate that. Nomad, you're my guy, man. You know that, and hey, better bear down.
Go ahead, Shawn.
All my sports owners and all the Nomadiacs, thanks for the love and the support. Hit both channels. You can like both channels. That's the cool part about what we do. Like, if you're thirsty, it's either Coke or Pepsi. You're not going to drink both. This is a different system. You can like both places. Give us likes and subscribes, man. Hit our YouTube channel. Hit SportsZone Chicago's YouTube channel. Hit the Nomad Network YouTube channel. And you know what? You can support both teams. And the crazy part, you don't have to watch it live. You can catch it on the replay. As someone in earlier said, hey, I got in here late. I'll just check the replay. Perfect. So you know what? I appreciate the love and the support. You two guys, I was happy when we talked about this and you proposed, a little collabo between SportsZone Chicago and Nomad Network. You saw how quickly I accepted because certain things make sense. All right, it don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. All right, to borrow a line from the poet laureate Common himself, it don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. And I'm enjoying it with you guys. I'm enjoying my guys coming over here and your guys coming over to my shows, and and that's what it's about. We want to give you guys an honest, a very educated opinion. Okay, we both played football at a high level, and we just look at things differently. We're not quote unquote normal media guys who've never played and things of that nature, and we give you a different perspective, and I think it's perspective that that I think that I know you guys like, and I know you guys, that's refreshing to you guys to hear from people like us, as opposed to just people who, 5'7", 135 are like, well, why didn't you? His statistical numbers were he was 47%. Nah, bro, it's not always about the numbers. It's about what we see and what in our trained eye. So, yeah, thank you for the love and support, man. Just keep giving us love and support. We'll keep giving you great content.
And Shawn, keep in mind we are working on simulcasting our daily content over to SportsZone. Just got to work out a few more kinks, but won't be long, my friend.
Bet. I love it.
I think you guys said it all, man. I'll just echo everything that you guys said, man. And I'm glad that you're here, Shawn, man. I told you we were going to do good stuff together, man. And I appreciate you guys, all the people that went over there and made sure they showed SportsZone Chicago the same love they show over here. I appreciate you guys, because I know a bunch of you went over there and did that for us. So thank you guys, man. And you guys keep up the support. Keep doing what you're doing, man. And we're getting to where we need to go. And we're going to just keep bringing more and more content to you, better content. And when it's time to support the channels, we'll give you the opportunity to do that, man, because we can sure use it, man. And for the record, we are doing a show tonight. We're doing safeties tonight. So I've got a particular guy that nobody is, as we always do. I'm always giving you, you got your main guys that everybody's talking about and echoing and telling you this is the best player here, this is the best player there. I'm going to always seek to find somebody that no one's really paying a whole lot of attention to. And some of you guys are going to be very surprised at who that best safety in the draft is. Not who you think it's going to be. I promise you that. And I'll tell you the reasons why, not more than that. I'll show you the reasons why tonight. Just show up to the show tonight, and it's going to be a great one, man. Some great safeties in this draft. And I think if you know how to read quick cryptic tweets, I think Eddie Jackson kind of wrote the writing on the wall that he's off to new beginnings somewhere else. So I don't think we will have the services of Eddie Jackson. What does that mean? Probably means we're going to sign a veteran in free agency. Probably means we're definitely drafting a safety as well. And so I'm pretty confident about that, if it's true that Eddie Jackson is not going to be a Bear. But that's for later on tonight. We'll get into that conversation a little further into detail. But with that being said,
Nomad, let me tell Daryl real quick, because he asked what's the show. Daryl, if you could just go follow SportsZone Chicago, follow our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our Twitter handle, Instagram, SportsZone Chicago. You can check us out on there. We have a Roku channel, so if you have a Roku television in the house, you can download SportsZone Chicago's channel. All right, and you can watch all this. You can watch all my shows. I have a network over there as well, so we have 4 or 5 different shows. But my show specifically is called Shawn and Maya in the morning, and it's on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 a.m. to 11. So just follow SportsZone Chicago on all those social media platforms, and it'll be greatly appreciated.
And with that being said, I think I'll leave you guys and see you guys at 8 p.m. Central tonight. I'll just leave you guys with these famous words: love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.